Hello, animation students. Welcome once again to our online lessons in animation. In this particular lesson, we are going to discuss and create a walk cycle animation. Now, this is the walk cycle diagram right here. And basically, these are the standard key poses and breakdowns for a walk cycle that animators use whenever they make their characters walk. Okay, so the the gray color drawings right here, these are the key poses. And these are what we call the stride. Okay. So looking closely at the strides, okay, let's say for example the right leg is positioned forward, the right arm is positioned backward. On the other stride, you can see that the right leg is positioned backwards, the right arm is positioned forward. So basically, when you walk, your limbs are alternating in position. Okay. So we have three strides right here. The third stride right here is identical to the first stride right here. Now, in between these strides, we have two breakdowns, namely the squash and the lift. The squash basically is the lowest point in the walk cycle animation. Okay. And basically, the squash serves as an anticipation towards the lift. And basically, the lift is the highest point in the walk cycle animation. Now, of course, this process is repeated on this side right here. Okay. We have the second squash right here. This is the first squash, and this is the second squash. Now, they are almost identical except that the limbs, the position of the limbs are different. Okay. In this first squash, the right leg for this instance is bent forward. And at the other hand, at the other squash, is that the left leg is bent forward. Okay. So, as I have said earlier, when our character is walking or rather when you are walking, your limbs are moving in alternate fashion. Okay. And then the same process is repeated again. We see the second lift right here. And again, this is the highest point in the walk cycle. Okay. So from this stride up until this stride, this constitutes one step. And from this stride up until this stride, this constitutes another step. So you need to complete two steps in order to complete the walk cycle animation. The third stride right here is similar to this stride right here, the first stride. So it basically went back to its original posing. All right. And as you can see here, the character is depicted in such a way that it is meant to move in an up and down fashion. Okay. And now you can see the legs right here. These are the legs. The shaded ones are the legs, and the arms that are farthest to the camera, farthest from the camera, rather. Okay. The limbs, the legs that are farthest to the camera, they travel in this upper margin right here. And the legs that are closest to the camera, they travel at the lowest margin right here. Hence, it gives us a perspective on the walk cycle. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Now, in a walk animation, wherein we see the character moving from one place to the other, the feet are basically overlapping. Now, if we are going to deconstruct these walk poses, this is how it looks like. Okay. So in our succeeding videos, we are going to imitate these poses using our rigged character. Okay. So I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.